ticket in my hand, I'm thinking, wish I didn't hand it in. Cause who said sailing is fine, leaving behind all the faces that I might.
Come sapete, qui nell'ex carcere delle Murate abbiamo realizzato nel corso degli ultimi 2 anni un centro interdisciplinare consacrato alla creatività, alle nuove arti, a tutta una serie di attività che non sto a ricordarvi. Nel corso di questa strada che ci condurrà alla fine dell'anno prossimo all'apertura di questo centro, abbiamo incontrato la Fondazione Robert Kennedy, che già da molti anni con grandissima autorevolezza e forza porta avanti esattamente gli stessi temi e gli stessi progetti.
Grazie di cuore, grazie Kerry per aver scelto Firenze. Per noi è un grande giorno ed è un grande onore. In questo luogo tanti prigionieri hanno camminato, erano carcerati, erano persone che avevano commesso dei reati, dei crimini, ma erano anche delle persone che erano carcerate in alcuni momenti per le loro idee. Nel periodo del nazifascismo, qui, alcune persone erano state rinchiuse. Questo insomma è un luogo che tiene insieme la libertà e la prigionia. È bello, è molto bello che i giovani di oggi, venendo alle Murate, non soltanto riflettano sul passato, ma abbiano la possibilità di domandarsi che cosa possono fare per cercare di essere più attenti al dolore dell'uomo in tutto il mondo. La vostra presenza qui è per Firenze un elemento di orgoglio e allora, a nome personale, ma anche a nome della città, grazie di essere qui e grazie per aver scelto Firenze.
My father, Robert Kennedy, believed in youth, not as a time of life, but as a state of mind. And I think Mayor Renzi has really personifies what my father was talking about. And I think this space demonstrates that if you put your mind to it, you can create real change, and you can create a space that brings together elderly, old and young, rich and poor, and a large range of cultures. And we are so proud and moved to be here, and we thank you for your vision and for your creativity and for your capacity to actually get things done.
Thank you so much.
So today we are launching the new headquarters of the Robert F. Kennedy Foundation of Europe here in Florence, and the launch of the new Robert F. Kennedy Training Institute. And the institute will be housed here in the former prison, which is very symbolic, both because of Robert Kennedy's interest in youth and his commitment to freedom and renewal. And so we're going to start with 3 projects. The first project is today, the mayor is hosting the launch of RFK Compass here in Florence, where we have brought together people from the finance industry who control over 2 trillion euros in assets managed. They've come here to Florence for 3 days of talks where we will be focused on human rights, environmental degradation, labor rights violations, and corruption, and the risks those hold for investors. Now, this is particularly, I think, important when all the world is focused on Europe in general and Italy in particular during the midst of this banking crisis. To have all these people come to Florence, which has such a rich history of banking. It's the place where the banking system started in the world, after all. The second program that we have is called Speak Truth to Power, and this is a copy of our training manual. It's a 12-week course on human rights taught to 500,000 Italian high school students this year. And the third program of the RFK Training Institute here in Florence is discussions with leading human rights defenders, intellectuals, and artists from around the world. And we will be inviting people who share Robert Kennedy's vision of a more just and peaceful world. And there are 3 of them who are here with us this morning. I'd like to start with Marina Pisklakova. Marina is the world's leading expert on domestic violence, and she started the first domestic violence hotline in Russia.
Being today in Florence at the moment of new beginnings is a very exciting moment. The symbolism of turning a prison into freedom and the symbolism of having new opportunities. To me, I'm really totally blown away with all this energy here.
And next, we are so incredibly delighted to have with us today Senator Gary Hart. Senator Hart worked for my father when he was only 24 years old, fresh out of law school, when my father was the Attorney General at the height of the Civil Rights Movement. And we are so honored that you've joined us. Thank you.
John and Robert Kennedy often used the symbol of passing of a torch. And they believed that each generation should pass a torch of idealism to the next generation. In my own national campaign in the United States in 1984, I had the support of many, many young people. I will tell you very briefly about 3 of those. So the idealism that John and Robert Kennedy gave to my generation, many of us have tried to give to the next generation as well. I am here at the invitation of a very long-term friend, Marielena Marcucci, and I am very honored to join Ms. Kennedy in celebrating the Robert Kennedy Foundation in Europe.
Harry Benson, who is one of the greatest photographers of our time, and who followed my father not only during his campaigns but also on vacation, so he got to know him very well. Thank you, Harry. And his pictures are going to be permanently in our headquarters.
Thank you. Thank you. It is really an honor to be here. I followed Bobby when he was in the Senate, running for Senate. What can I say? I went on holiday with him once on the Snake River in Idaho. I photographed Kerry with my father. And what is interesting, Kerry really stayed so close to her father, never took her eyes off him, was with him all the time. Am I right? It was always fun to be with Bobby. You could see the groundswell with Beatlemania rising. Now, I'm not associating Bobby with the Beatles. Well, maybe I am. He was truly a great man. Really. Thank you all.
Just the shoreline receding, ticket in my hand. I'm thinking, wish I didn't have it in. 'Cause who said sailing is fine, leaving behind all the faces that I might replace if I tried on that long ride, looking deep inside. But I don't want to look so deep inside yet.